What is up, everybody? It is JT Sports. I am back at you guys with another video. In this video, I want to talk about why I feel Alex Highsmith will have a breakout season for the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2021. Alex Highsmith, last year he was a rookie. He was drafted in the third round of the 2020 NFL Draft out of Charlotte. He had a lot of high praise from the Steelers coaching staff coming out of training camp last year, heading into the regular season. Now, I was interested in seeing, okay, he's not going to be on the field all that often aside from special teams. What role can he have as a rotational pass rusher? But eventually, sadly, Bud Dupree ended up having his season cut short. So Alex Highsmith was inserted into the starting role, and he played really good. He had 48 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 1 interception, and a pass deflection. In the couple of games that he played, Pro Football Focus said that he had 17 quarterback pressures. And if he would have played the whole entire season from week 1, Pro Football Focus said that he was on pace to having 50 quarterback pressures. That is really phenomenal for a rookie, which is why Pro Football Focus at the end of the year had him graded as the 3rd best rookie on the defensive side of football. Now, obviously, with Bud Dupree leaving Pittsburgh for Tennessee in free agency, Alex Highsmith is going to be a day one starter. He's going to have a lot of high expectations from not only me, but Steelers Nation, because I feel like he has a lot of potential. And he definitely showed that last season. Imagine if he would have played the whole entire year. He probably could have had 8 sacks. He probably could have been in discussion for Defensive Rookie of the Year if he would have started week 1. Heading into this year, the Steelers don't have a lot of depth when it comes to their edge rushers. Aside from TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, you're going to be looking at Quincy Roche. So with the Steelers not really having a lot of pass rush depth when it comes to that edge rush position, Alex Highsmith probably is going to be on the field for 95% of the defensive snaps. I think he's probably going to have 7 to 8 sacks this season. Maybe he could have 9 or 10 sacks, but I think that's kind of a little bit too high. The reason why I think 9, 10 sacks would be him exceeding my expectations is because, for one, he is playing alongside of one of the best defensive lines in the NFL. You have Cam Hayward, who, even though he's getting older, he's still one of the best interior defensive linemen that we have in the league today. You have Stephon Tuitt, who is coming off a breakout season last year. Then you have TJ Watt, who is one of the best 5 defensive players that we have in the NFL. So with those other guys, he's going to be sharing a lot of sacks pretty much. So those guys are going to be getting theirs. But on top of that, those guys, with them being some of the best at the position, they're going to demand a good amount of attention. Some people think that TJ Watt is going to have a decline this year because he's going to get double teamed and triple teamed without Bud Dupree there. And this is coming from non-Steeler fans, by the way, which really irritates me, because I was like, you guys do know if you triple team TJ Watt or double team TJ Watt, you still have to worry about Stephon Tuitt and Cam Hayward. But even then, if you were to somehow try to stop those guys, you still have to worry about Alex Highsmith. So when you're focusing on Stephon Tuitt and Cam Hayward, you have to worry about TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith. And when you're focusing on TJ Watt, Stephon Tuitt, and Cam Hayward, you have to worry about Alex Highsmith. And if you're trying to focus on Stephon Tuitt and Cam Hayward and TJ Watt, you still have to worry about Alex Highsmith. No matter what, the Steelers' pass rush is still going to get home. What really bugs me is that some people have questions about how good the Steelers' pass rush is going to be. I don't think a lot of people realize how good Alex Highsmith was as a rookie. Even Steeler fans, I feel like Steeler fans don't really understand how great Alex Highsmith was as a rookie last season. This is a guy who had to come in and fill the shoes of Bud Dupree, who once again was on pace for having another great season. He probably would have had 14 sacks if he never got injured. So for him to come in and play the way that he did was really impressive. I think by the end of this season, Alex Highsmith is going to become a household name amongst Steeler fans. He had a really good mini camp. He was getting talked about just as much as Najee Harris and James Pierre, so that's really good to hear. I definitely feel like Alex Highsmith is going to have a really great season for Pittsburgh this year. On top of that, you have to give the Steelers a lot of credit, especially to general manager Kevin Colbert, because he has drafted really well over the last couple of years. Not only just Alex Highsmith, but drafting Deontay Johnson. You also have Chase Claypool, who had a really good rookie season. So not only has the Steelers done a good job of drafting, but they're also done a really good job when it comes to player development. And I think that Alex Highsmith is going to come along really well during training camp and during this year's preseason. I believe in Alex Highsmith. Some people don't. Some people don't think he's going to be able to be a great successor to Bud Dupree, not with Tennessee. But I believe in him. I think he's going to have 7-8 sacks. He's one of my favorite Steelers on the roster right now. Great guy, not only on the field, but off the field as well. Great character. So I think Alex Highsmith is going to be in for a breakout season this year in 2021 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He not only was great when it came to getting after the quarterback, like I mentioned, 17 quarterback pressures is really good, and he only started in a handful of games. But he also was really good against the run in certain situations as well, which I think is going to be really important, because being able to stop the run is something that a lot of people kind of overlook, because everybody's just fascinated by the stats when it comes to sacks and whatnot. But I think Alex Highsmith is probably going to end up being one of the better run defenders on this Steelers defense. So I have a lot of high expectations for Alex Highsmith this upcoming NFL season. You guys let me know how you guys feel about Alex Highsmith, because Alex Highsmith is a guy who doesn't really get talked about all that much on the defense side of football. Everybody's so fascinated about Justin Lane, James Pierre, and TJ Watt, and Cam Hayward, and Stephon Tuitt that some people forget that, hey, we actually had a rookie last year who started a couple of games for us, and he was actually really good. So, if he was able to have the stat line that he had last year and only a handful of games as a starter, imagine what he's going to do now as a full-time starter for Pittsburgh this year. I think this guy is the limit. Like I said, 7-8 sacks is my expectations for Alex Highsmith, but I would not be surprised if we end up seeing him have 9 or double-digit sacks this year. So you guys let me know how you feel about Alex Highsmith this upcoming NFL season. Do you guys feel like he will break out this year? Make sure that you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content, and thanks for watching.